All right. Please rise for silent invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Be seated. Will the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Grubbs, Councilman Bastian,
Here.
Councilman Stiltner,
Here.
Vice Mayor Foley,
Here.
Mayor Burnett.
All right. 3. We have a quorum. Barely. All right. That brings us to public comments on consent agenda only. Does anyone from the public have anything they want to speak to on the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda for the evening.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Motion passes 3-0. With that, moves to the consent agenda. I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent agenda items 7, 8, and 9.
I'll second that.
You need 6 as well in there, Scott?
How about 6, 7, 8, and 9?
There you go.
I'll take
And
that.
my second will be for 6, to include 6, 7,
All
8,
right.
9.
Got that. Very good. Again, signify by saying aye.
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 All right. That's 3-0. That motion passes. That brings us all the way to public participation non-agenda. Robert Grindhagen.
Council members, Robert Reinhagen, 1425 Dexter Drive North. The other day I was looking at the Port Orange newsletter, and lo and behold, there's a picture here that talks about financial professionals, and there's a gray-haired elderly gentleman here who's identified as Assistant City Manager Jonathan McKinney. Well, I thought he was the finance director. And that's sort of my point. And maybe it's a management style, but when there are turnovers in significant senior positions, you would think that we would hear more about it, and we don't seem to be. And it's, like I say, it's maybe a difference in style for management, but I guess maybe I got spoiled. And what I'm really concerned about is that this management style is rolling over into the consent agenda, and that items on the consent agenda are not getting the attention that they should be. And so I was thinking about, well, I need to find out what's the criteria for putting something on the consent agenda versus the regular agenda. And I thought, well, I'll go over there to the city clerk office and talk to Robin Fenwick. And then I said to myself, I realized I don't know if she's a city clerk anymore. And I see it says here, Assistant City Manager. And so it's something I think we should be looking at more carefully. Thank you.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Robert. Does anyone else from the public have anything non-agenda? All right, seeing none, move us on to council comments. It's a full slate. Drew, do you have anything for us tonight?
No, just recognize the staff, Parks and Rec, for the event at the Brew Fest and Food Fest and Brew Fest and craft show over at the City Center this weekend. So, good event. Took a lot of time to get in there, and so I just appreciate the staff and everybody's participation to make it such a good event. So I just want to recognize them.
Very good. Scott?
I was going to echo that great event, great weather, well attended by the community. So congrats to everybody, and thanks for all the hard work that goes into that event. Just as a second note, I just want to say that I don't think John McKinney's elderly. Just trying to make you feel better. And I think he colors his hair to match the beard or something. So, but no, anyway. All right. No, other than that, that's all I got for tonight.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say the same thing. I got to attend the event on Saturday, and it was awesome to see so many people out. I think events like that are what makes Port Orange so special. The community trust does a great job putting it on, and staff from Parks and Rec and everyone, our police force is out there helping. It all goes together and it just makes one of the things that makes Port Orange so great. So I thought that was awesome. But that's all I had as well. So easy enough. That moves us on to board appointments, interviews, and reports. Golf Course Advisory Board report. This is a familiar face and a familiar position, but not who we've been seeing for the last year.
No, that's right. Yeah, I took a sabbatical.
Ah,
Nice.
how you doing, Richard?
Welcome back.
I'm doing well, thank you. Hi.
Good to see you.
Rich Lee, 6393 Long Lake Drive, Port Orange. I wanted to change this a little bit. We had a meeting tonight. I think most of you are aware of some of the issues with the golf course, with the cart paths, and unauthorized people being on the course, fishing, all that kind of stuff. So I really want to focus on what good things have happened.
Good.
As you know, Jeff Dayton has been there about 6 months at this point, 5 to 6 months. And he's made a few adjustments, which I think have fostered a much better environment for the golf course, as well as appreciation by the golfers. Simple things. One was, I don't know if you're familiar with the term white space. Well, in a tee sheet, there's gaps between tee times. He has made efforts to minimize those because we used to get too many gaps between groups playing, and he was afraid that they'd come in late, so he kept two or three tee times open just in case. Jeff doesn't do that. You're here on time, or you don't play. So it's pretty good in resolving that. The other thing is a part of that actually the green fees as a result of being able to fill it. They're up 17% year over year. So that's obviously more money in his
Solid.
pocket, your pockets. He's expanded the clubhouse merchandise. If you used to go in the clubhouse, there would be voids where you could kind of walk through and you never run into anything. Now there's hats and gloves and balls and any kind of golf paraphernalia you can possibly think of, or trinkets that you might need. And that's reflected in the year-over-year increase in sales, 49%. So really substantial in terms of bringing more product in. More people are buying it. More people are interested.
Wow.
It's
awesome.
amazing.
That's great.
Fill it up like Walmart? I mean, just stuff everything in there?
Well, yeah. I mean, you
Okay.
have to kind of move around a little bit. And what he
Okay.
also has is he has a rack, just like this store, the retail stores in the back, that's got the discounted products on it. Because what he's not doing is letting things just sit there idle for month after month after month. It's like, let's reduce the price and move it out. Another thing he's changed is some of the upscale golf courses, if you've ever played one of the things you will notice when you go to the driving range is all the balls are the same color. Cypress Head, guys would bring their own balls they found. You'd see red, white, blue, orange, anything out there in the golf. He throws all those away now. All the balls are yellow. So it looks very neat and organized. All the employees have name tags. And he's actually encouraged now the person who just took over the restaurant to do the same thing. Put them in uniforms, put them with name tags, so we can identify these people. If you have a good experience, you want to be able to recognize them. So, or a bad experience, but that doesn't happen. The other thing he's changed, and this is really, I think, one of the bigger ones that he's made. You're familiar with rangers on the golf course, right? They go around and encourage people to play faster, clean up after themselves. He was asked a specific question, which was, the ranger is standing there, and he calls him a player's assistant. If he's standing there watching somebody in a sand trap, hits the ball, jumps out, throws his club, doesn't rake the trap, goes up in the green. So what do you expect that player's assistant to do? He said, well, I expect him to get out of his cart and rake the trap. Now that's a whole different mental attitude towards, instead of chewing the person out for not raking it, just go over and do it, and then you can text to him, courtesy is you rake the trap, but I'm going to rake it on your behalf. So it's just a really nice change to see. They're doing more advertising through social media. They have group lessons, which are filling out. He sells out every week. He has, I think, it limits to 10 people, beginners and advanced and intermediate opportunities. They've got the junior program going again this year. They're doing 5 sessions. I think it's 18 kids per session, three coaches. So they'll have games and events, prizes, that kind of thing for them. They also do something that's kind of neat. They do a daily drawing. If you've played golf, you're going to fill out a ticket, put it in a jar, and they're going to pull out a prize. That prize can be substantial. I got a dozen B6 golf balls, which are worth about $50. For the WGA, he donated a golf bag for one of their tournaments. So there's more encouragement to do things to help golfers to participate. And then lastly, there's been just tremendous positive feedback from golfers. I played with a friend of mine who plays pretty much around the world. And he hadn't played here in probably 4 years, I'm going to guess. He's also a very good golfer. But he said, when I played here 3 or 4 years ago, this was a good course. This course is a bargain at the pricing you've got. And one of the things Jeff is going to do starting, I think it's April 18th, is there's dynamic pricing. Have you ever heard of the concept? So they have an algorithm that Kemper has created some software that will give them information about how your bookings are going, what the temperature is, and all kinds of variables to come in and determine what kind of price they ought to charge. It'll be within the parameters of the contract that the city has with Kemper, but it'll still give them an opportunity to make a few more dollars. If demand is really high, they'll raise the prices a few bucks. He said, I think no more than $5 from normal. So those are some of the good things that are going on there. I'm really impressed with Jeff personally. I speak with him almost every week. He's very accommodating, listens. He'll tell you no when he knows it's not a good idea, but he'll definitely listen to what you got to say.
Awesome.
Questions?
Rich, two quick things.
Sure.
One, are they still doing the I think it was Callaway, but somebody was doing like a club day.
Yes,
Are they still doing that?
they still do, and they've actually expanded that now because now they're carrying Titleist.
Okay.
Dylan got certified to be a Titleist fitter in addition to a Callaway, so now we have more club selection that you can go to, and that's also part of the the package that people are buying more and more. Almost everybody I play with, except me, has bought a new club through him.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I was going to suggest, and maybe they're
Yeah.
doing this, so forgive me if they already are, but the last few times that I recall they're doing it like in the middle of the week during like the middle of the day. And I've had some people make mention
Yeah.
of it. They'd love to go to that. Could they do it
Yeah.
either on a weekend, which I know would be tough, but maybe even like in an evening session now that we have daylight savings? So maybe do
Yeah.
it from like 6 to 7:30 or something, so folks that are working Monday through Friday 8 to 5.
You
get a
could do one
chance
in the
to-
evening. The ones I've seen that they've had have been on Saturdays.
Okay.
From like 10 to noon.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So
Good.
and they do get a lot of people
Good.
going there. And like I say, most everybody I've played with has purchased some sort of club through that process. And so it seems to be working pretty well. I'm not aware of any that have been done during the week, but that
Okay.
I'm not aware of it.
And just a positive comment for
Yeah.
you. I don't know what's happening over in Venetian Bay at their golf course, but I will tell you I have seen some really bad comments about the conditions of their course. But in seeing those and hearing about it,
Right.
people are praising the condition of Cypress Head.
Yeah.
which is very
Good.
nice to see.
Yeah, it is good to
So
hear.
I'm not sure what's going on over there, but folks that aren't happy there, they can certainly come on
Absolutely.
down the road.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. The course. I mean, it's getting the reputation as the course to play if you're in the area.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, even people that are playing LPGA are saying, with the construction they've got going on, you don't waste your money. It's $75
Come a
round.
long way in the last.
Oh yeah,
many
yeah,
years.
really, yeah. And you gotta credit Darren Bosch, who's been
Sure.
the course superintendent, really doing well. Right now he's starving a little bit for water, but aren't we all? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we've
So-
been dry for a while now.
Yeah, and it really hurts because he had a pump breakout over the weekend, and they jerry rigged it for twice during the night, but it still keeps breaking down. But they got a part supposed to be in tomorrow.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, it's very dry. So
I was out
Right.
there for the Rotary tournament on Saturday for a few,
Yes.
and stopped in the store.
Yeah.
Go back to that point. I couldn't believe because
the level of merchandise.
Yeah, it's incredible. You walk in, it's everywhere. And I mean, I know when I'm out golfing, every time you need you need another glove, or you need this, you need that.
Right, yeah.
And having more to choose from, more selection, it's great. Obviously, revenues don't lie. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
that he's
I mean,
doing
to
that
have be
drive.
49% year over year is
That's
just
amazing.
it's incredible. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And rounds are up about 18-19%, even with 3 days in.
Is that number of
January.
rounds, or is that revenue in rounds?
Number of rounds
Okay.
are up about 17 or 18%. Revenue's up about the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Good deal.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Rich.
you. All right.
Good to see
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
With that, move to the public hearing portion of the meeting. Only one, and it is a doozy. Second reading of ordinance 2023-02. And I'm going to get a drink of water before I do that, or Powerade before I do this. Oh boy. All right, bear with me. Ordinance number 2023-02 is an ordinance of the City of Port Orange, Volusia County, Florida, amending Chapter 2, Article 6, Division 2, relating to the purchase and sale, procedure, and contents thereof. Amending Section 2-261, relating to the petty cash fund to increase the petty cash operating amount and place the petty cash fund under the Finance Department. Amending Section 2-262, relating to the purchase and sales procedures to update the dollar thresholds for the various methods of procurement and to clarify the city manager's purchase authority. Amending Section 2-267, relating to the bidding requirements to update the list of exemptions from the formal competitive solicitation process. And amending Section 2-269, relating to performance and payment bonds to raise the threshold for waiver that may be exercised by the city manager. Amending Section 2-270, relating to informal bid procedures to raise the threshold for purchasing using the informal bid procedures. Amending Section 2-275, relating to local purchasing preference to limit local preference to tiebreakers only. Providing for repeal of conflicting ordinance, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing for scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date.
Move to approve ordinance number 2023-02.
I will second that.
John's going to be presenting on this one?
Yes.
Second reading, so. I wasn't here, however, so I'm
No worries.
Glad to see
Vice
you.
Mayor, Council, I am the Assistant City Manager and Finance Director.
There you go, Robert.
For clarification. In summary, first reading was March 21st. We've incorporated in this ordinance for second reading the changes that I recommended after discussing with the city attorney. So that's in here. So in summary, all the proposed amendments are intended to provide more efficient procurement and sales procedures consistent with state law while maintaining strong internal controls and compliance with all federal and state requirements.
all right.
Okay, thank you.
Council, do you have anything to ask of
I do not.
staff?
No, not on second. No, sir.
All right. Would anyone from the public care to speak to this? Seeing none, back to us. I was just going to ask one question, but he already sat down. I'll just make it more of a statement because I met with John for lunch before we went to Tallahassee last week to ask. A lot of these procedures and a lot of the dollar amounts, these thresholds, have not been changed in dozens of years, as if I remember correctly from our lunch. 1981. So this, in a way, makes a lot of sense to me just alone in that a lot has changed since 1981. A lot has changed since 2021. So
Some people were born since 1981.
absolutely. Wait a minute. All right. So with no other comments, will the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Bastian,
Yes.
Councilman Stiltner,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Foley.
Yes, 3-0. And this concludes the public hearing portion. All right, additional items. City Attorney,
I have nothing, thank you.
excellent
Excellent
report. Fantastic. City Manager,
I also have nothing.
wow,
Excellent
quick.
report.
All right. Council Committee reports, River to Sea TPO. I was unable to attend that meeting because we were in Tallahassee. There's an executive meeting on Thursday, which has been moved, or they moved it to Thursday because there are other people on the executive committee who are not in town. They're in Tallahassee now, so I have nothing to report. So that is it. Is there anything else come before us tonight? All right. Good night, everybody.